Weza Lealigvanyade Olenyata. Say, let's see what's going on in the land. Means leave the wisdom of this world. Come out of her, my people, land. Let's get into it without further ado.
You'd figure that.
Blah. I haven't even titled this land yet. I don't want to say that. I give that away. Anything I would say right now gives it away. Let's just go in.
And you would be wrong. Let me show you a case in point. This is happening in Cape Town as we speak.
We're all here to celebrate his life. He was spreading the word to his own community, to the kids in his community, young people, gay, queer people that wasn't accepted by his family, and he accepted them as a father figure. He was just spreading love.
We found the one BMW in South Africa.
Spreading love. And that's why we're celebrating his life as well today.
This is Cape Town, folks. Take a look at this sidewalk here, by the way. This is Cape Town. Okay. Take a look at this. Yeah, there you go. Don't doubt me. They say this is Cape Town, South Africa now. Take a look. Take a look now. These are the white folk. And this is what they selling to us. Take a look at that. To the folk over there and whatnot looking for Zaddy and we worry about the Akatas and all this old mess. By the way, this is what they're pushing. You see, they cut their teeth on it over here, and this is what they keep exporting everywhere. Notice you talking about being LGBT. What are you not talking about? You're not talking about economics. You're not talking about tangibles. You're not talking about revolutionary reform. You are not talking about obliterating white supremacy. You talking about being buck broken by white supremacy is what you talking about. You talking about that. Yeah, this is, do you think white supremacy is worried about you when this is what you start prioritizing? This is in the streets of South Africa. I want you to understand this. This is in the streets of South Africa. This is in the streets of a place that is 90% black now. This is in their streets, and this is what is happening. Think about that for a moment. Think about that for a few moments. This is exactly what's going on there right now. So to anybody thinking that you found some haven of black empowerment, anybody who wants to talk about Pan-Africanism, this is what's happening in Africa right now. Right now. when they should be sitting there holding up flags of the indigenous people there. I submit to you, when we talk about the dominant society is that which has the control, not that which has the most numbers. When we say the phrase the dominant society, that means the portion of the society that has the most control, not the one who has the most numbers. And they are here to enact the exact same strategy that they did there before. They cut their teeth on it over here. We've been shaking that off, and they're showing you that, by the way, rinse and repeat. We want you to be focused on sexuality. We want you to be focused on sexual adventurism. We want you focused on anything and everything except white supremacy. Everything except that. Now, they'll give you money to explore your LGBT lifestyle. What they are not doing there, nor are they doing it here, is giving you money to establish yourself independently from the white supremacist power structure. Now, that is what they are not doing. And somebody in the chat room said it, yes, as our ancestor brother Neely Fuller pointed out, they keep promoting non-reproductive activities. They are not just non-productive, they are also non-reproductive. That is a major thing that they aim at you with. Andrew Cuomo and abortion. And then LGBT, everything that makes sure that specifically you will not be reproducing. They promote policies and promote agendas and promote activities that ensure that you will not reproduce. Now they will invest trillions of dollars into that, encouraging you into non-reproductive activities, into you promoting it. And by the way, the cherry on top, pause. But by the way, the cherry on top is not only if you're non-reproductive, if you can be non-reproductive by means of being butt broken. Let me go ahead and say it. Because you'll be sitting like this fella here who has no economic mobility, but he's got a zaddy. And when they get done, meanwhile, he's off having white children with the white women. Think about this for a few moments. You see these white men walking with white women. Very interesting there now, isn't it? Now, the white men are not sitting there with their hair multicolored and all this old garbage. So these fellas here, when they get finished with their black butt breaking, they gonna go find a white chick to go snuggle up with. Meanwhile, you fellas over here, you gonna find a really weird looking dude dressed up as a chick for you to go snuggle up with. That's what you'll be doing. Oh yeah, and one more thing. When Zaddy is done butt breaking the men, then Zaddy is gonna put on his little angel wings and he's gonna fly over to the women. Damn. Oh yeah, one more thing. Because this is also a historical habit as well. When he finishes his homosexual tryst with your men, he's then gonna fly his way on over to go engage in some sexual hijinks with your women. And these will be the same guys sitting up here telling you all the black men in South Africa are gay. The white man who has been parading both of them, he'll be the first one telling all the black females there that, oh, well, all the black men in South Africa are lazy and gay. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? This is warfare. This is what they're focused on. This is what they are focused on. This is what they are concentrating on. This is what they are aligned with. This is what they're doing. This is why you have a Congressional Black Caucus, and they are discussing everything except what we have told them, and it is not because they are not aware. They thought they were.
You heard that correctly. In Africa, Cape Town is that. There's other places, but they are slowly trying to now push the Sodom and Gomorrah agenda in, get this, listen to my words carefully, the holy place. As soon as I saw this, well, I couldn't believe my ears because the word came to me. And Miata said, show me what it was. I'm about to show you what it is. See, there's a movement. I get how I say this. There's a movement within Israel, which you could say there's a Pan-Africanist movement within Israel, meaning those who are realizing who we actually are as far as the tribes and the land over there, that there's far more of us over there than over here. That makes sense? So me teaching us that, I'm God, the ever, and, Blebubuo. There's more Israelites than myself that are waking up to that truth. We've had, you hear Israelites here say it, but they don't really get the magnitude of that statement. Example being Lashua and Kodash versus Avekbe. One's a made up language, the other's the real thing. That's opening all the doors I'm going to show you within the upcoming message. Christ is not the word of God. But I digress, we can progress. So let me show you what I understood once I saw that. I'll go to next. See, I understood that Christianity, and you can see it on the Patreon, look at my new tagline, Christianity is the disease. I am the cure. All of these ills within and among our people are rooted in the false doctrines of Christianity. See, this allows this. South Africa's first openly gay imam, Muslim Hendrix. Yeah, they're the Muslims, that's Ishmael, whatever, but still claiming Allah, right? Claiming the love of God. That's Christianity. We all know that Islam is just Christianity. All of these religions are just the body, our body, meaning Israel, being chopped into little pieces. And so this allows for that. As you can see, this was who? We are in the truth. But for those of you who may be seeing this for the first time, I pray this image was painted by Angelo. This man, I think, let's see if it's this one here is a more accurate image. But this was an actual man. The Jesus that you have today was Cesare Borgia, okay, which was the son of the Pope, Rodriguez Borgia, I believe. But he was a homosexual. He slept with his sister, Look it up. Just look it up. Now, we as Israel, we know all of these things. But the image that you have of Jesus Christ is a homosexual man, a homosexual white, to be exact. As you can see by these very feminine poses and things, and the long, straight, flowing female hair. There's a campaign So before I go to that campaign, when you accept that man into your heart, it has this effect on you. You're driven mad. Men become, that's what you see in the Christian church, beards chopped off. Yes, everything matters. There's a campaign called He Gets Us. You've probably seen it. Runs in the Super Bowl ads, runs on prominent on TV. Now, He Gets Us. I'm about to play this. This is the 2024 Super Bowl ad. Let's take a look.
Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you.
Family Planning Clinic. We know that's Margaret Sanger, Planned Parenthood, Satanic. Yeah, let me care for this young lady who's murdered her baby. But we know that they put a white image there on purpose. We know that Black women dominate this industry, but that's all parts of their satanic deception. And if I get into all the signs and symbols, we'd be here all night.
I love your precious heart. I was standing, you were there, two worlds colliding.
My sign, shut him up. Interesting.
And they could never tear us apart.
There it is.
We can.
He didn't teach hate, he washed feet. They reduced the Christ to washing feet. In particular, the feet of homosexuals, the feet of sodomites, degenerates, and reprobates. The image of the beast, woman. This is indeed war. Let's see what Nana Osomafua Binyame, who I introduced you to prior, one of my new elders. Let's see what he has to say about this. Don't forget, he is in Ghana.
GH studio now. Thank you very much for waiting for me and also being yearning to hear from me. I am happy for all of you and I greet all of you, welcoming all of you to Osmafo TV GH as well. You see, we talk about things that are very much important. We talk about history, we talk about the traditional science, we talk about a lot of things. You see, so today, what I want us to know is that we have to know the implications of certain things that we have no knowledge about in the spiritual side of life. You see, we have knowledge about the physical mostly, but when it comes to the spiritual side, we don't have any knowledge. And therefore, we accept everything that comes to our domain. Today, I am going to explain, in the first place, I am happy that, though I am not an American, but I am happy that Americans have gotten somebody who is very human, somebody who is very, very, I can say, righteous. You see, the righteous are not being.
Listen to what Nana just said. He said, he said, I'm happy that they got a new president, someone who is righteous. How many of you would call President Trump righteous? Amen.
being respected by the physical world, and that is how it looks like. So it will be like that. I'm talking about Donald Trump winning the American election. It has saved the world from destruction, because otherwise the world will be fast destroyed.
He said it has held the world from destruction because otherwise the world is destroyed.
It will be fast destroyed. But now he has come to save the situation. Even most of Americans don't even know that. You see, actually,
now I didn't know that. I did a message where I said I called it what did I call it? It's Mamala. The thoughtocracy. And I predicted that Mamala would win the election. I was surprised when she didn't. I was like, I wonder why. And now what he's saying, listen very closely. This makes a lot of sense. Because remember, Trump is against that. Remember that Trump represents white men, the right wing, right? He represents their true thoughts. So you got to understand when you're looking at him, because that's the king, who he represents. Just like I wrote down on IG that Labalco, who you call LeBron James, is the king of black people, right? He represents us. I know, but this is the setup. I digress. We can progress and go watch that video and expound on that. Listen to what he's saying here.
Actually, I for one does not like America. Oh yes, I'm saying it for fact, because all the problems on this planet Earth is being created by Americans, and therefore, as a peace lover, somebody who wants tranquility will never love any war like America. But America has been very fortunate. They should give thanks to God for bringing Donald Trump. Otherwise, if that woman has been there, there will be rapid destruction of America by the gods. Yes. Why am I saying so? You see, because God said a man and a woman should stay together to continue my creation.
Centrally for me, that abomination, the white man, Esau, this is agreeing with what Uncle Black said when he was breaking down, him walking with the white man walking with his woman, and they leave us the ones confused, right? In the end. I've also said, what did I say? Revealed to you through prophecy. I said their inward thought is that their kingdom will go on forever. And I revealed, I said, all of this is just confusion. They don't want to destroy their kingdom. They want it to go on for eternity, if possible. So the white man has stepped in, trying to prevent the destruction of his kingdom. Does that make sense? I said, you need to understand there is a war going on behind the scenes, not only between the Democrats and the Republicans, but between the white man and his woman. Don't forget the first slaves ever were white women. This is his story I'm teaching you. That was the first slave. She recruited our women into her war. We weren't against our women. We were side by side. They were taught that. And now you see our women hate us. That was instilled in them by their white counterparts, slave master sisters, mamas, white women. So understand what's happening. He's trying to prevent it, but they're trying to fight the prophecy of Miata, but it's not going to work. Oh, you remember the image, which I was going to be the image for this land of, if you haven't seen it, here's how the year started, 2025. Tesla, because you know that, what's his name? What's the Tesla's on? Get the Tesla guy's name. Let's see, Tesla truck. The Tesla truck, Elon Musk. Huh. Front of Trump Hotel. This is the image they pushed out to the people at the beginning of 2025. Trump, Musk, Tesla's on fire. I forgot about this in preparing the message. So this is literally through the Spirit that I'm even showing this image right now. But this has a very, very deep meaning. You have a Tesla truck burning. What does Tesla represent for me? If you answered progress, if you've answered, let me break this down for you. I'm laughing because of all that's how my gifts work. I just see you'll take me back somewhere 10 years ago. But coming into this truth, these are things he showed me in the beginning. I think it's called, let me see if I can type this in. What was the name of that old movie? Metropolis. Yep. Over 10 years ago, y'all. I'm telling you, that's the book. But Metropolis, 1927 German expressionist science fiction silent film directed by Fritz Lang. But it's basically about the agenda of merging man and AI and machine together. So that's essentially what this is, an Illuminati movement, all that stuff. But as you can see, that's the Android. We all have now, what do we have? Android phones. Android phones didn't exist when I was getting this information. Okay? So this is the LGBTQ's true agenda to, let me get rid of this image because my daughter is sitting over there, I forget. But that's the true aim of the so-called LGBTQ agenda, is to dehumanize you, is to that's the word I'm looking for. Objectify the human body. The human body is sacred. And they want to what's the word for it? But desacretize. I'm making up a word. That's because I'm missing the word right now. But they want to, like I said, objectify and belittle and turn it into just a piece of flesh. And all that matters is your consciousness, not understanding that our consciousness, our spirit, is assigned a specific temple. I can prove this quickly with science. You probably didn't know this, but none of your organs are supposed to go into someone else's body. I'll say that again. None of your organs are supposed to be transplanted into another person's body. That's why you get liver transplants. You got to stay on medicine and all that, because it has to fight against, your body fights against that foreign organ. It's not supposed to be there. You have every organ, your complete body is literally customized for your spirit and your soul. I know, it's mind-blowing, isn't it? All of it is supposed to stay intact. You should be drawing all kinds of conclusions right now with what I'm telling you. There aren't supposed to be any transplants. See what I'm saying? So you've been desensitized. You don't look at this temple. It says what? Know ye not that your bodies are the temple? This is sacred. That's why sex is sacred. You are allowing someone to enter your temple. I digress so we can progress. But that's the true aim of the LGBTQ agenda. So that is what this represents for me. Trump Tower. You got a Tesla on fire, strong tower standing up. It the righteous run into, and they are what? Saved. Wasn't even going to touch on this, but you already know how what we used to call Passover goes. So it's true. Trump is fighting against it. So that's why I'm really interested in what's coming next. But let's continue.
You see, and then somebody who goes against the actions or the will of God is automatically the devil. You see, and the point is that Democrats has declared themselves as the witches and devils of this planet by trying to destroy God's plan for mankind. You see, if I talk about that, I say because of the LGBTQ that they were promoting to this world. The world could have been disastrous if these people had come to power and promulgate those kind of evil system. So we give thanks to the gods for bringing Donald Trump. Donald, I welcome you. I salute you. Yes. Okay. And now I want to explain to my own people, Ghanaians in particular, and for that matter, probably all the Africans. You see, in the spiritual side of life, there are so many things that creates curses on the planet that many people don't know. Especially the LGBTQ issue is bringing curse on the planet. But
and he's essentially goes on just warning Ghana, our people, the Holy Land, not to allow this disease to spread. And we are fighting it. I'm not going into it totally, but we are fighting it, and we need to continue to fight it. Let you hear a little bit more of this, maybe a minute. Let me see.
the gods have saved the situation. Because what am I trying to say? Everybody who is cursed, whatever that person touches, and you also go and touches it, you have also become a polluted. You have also become a polluted spirit.
He's talking about, I've said this to Formentor Sodomite here, my wife here. You wake up to the truth and understand the polluted world that you're living in. Just for example, if a woman is on her chibote period, and you're sitting where she sat, you're unclean. He's saying likewise, when you're dealing and you're around people that are in that lifestyle, you become unclean as well. Let you hear a little bit more.
You see? So these kind of people who are promulgating this evil thing, this abominable thing, this inhuman activity, we can't even say animal activity because animals even don't practice those things. These people are in our midst. How can we identify them? Because they are moving forward with all the curses and the abominable things and disgrace in the spiritual side of life. So if that person is a lesbian, he's an abominable. He shouldn't even have stayed in the midst of human beings. If it happens to be the olden days where they make sure they clear all the curses and abominable things from their system, they should have gone them down. You see, because anything that will pollute the system must be taken away. You see, so for instance, you go to a restaurant, the person who prepares the food, if he happens to be a homosexual or an LGBTQ member who practices all these things, already the whole place where the person is working has been polluted spiritually. So whoever goes there to take a meal has also been contracted with the curses.
Now, I'm going to stop there. This is why ablution, our various washings, washing your hands when you come in your home, taking off your shoes, showering. These things are important because all of the pollution you're attracting in the world, and we know that chi or water is a spiritual substance, but it's a very dark spirit. It's a very filthy spirit. But overall, all in all, he's warning. You can't allow that spirit to fester. You see what it does. Sin is a snare to any nation, but it will bring down your kingdom. I say all that to bring you to, because we know this is our prophetic news source, the understanding prophetically of what we are looking at. All right, here is the apex here. Listen to this, sister. It says, where is the Garden of Eden and the 4 rivers of the Bible?
So title is literally what it says. There was a
Okay. Yes, there.
So these 4 rivers of Eden, I want to emphasize to everyone, Bible scholars cannot explain these 4 rivers of Eden at all. The reason is because they're trying to focus on the Euphrates River that is inside of the Middle East. They can't explain how the Euphrates River could possibly connect to the Nile River because it couldn't. Some people have come up with different explanations and said the rivers are no longer here or the rivers connected at one time. However, again, as I show you through scripture, if we are to believe that the land of Yasharel was at the Euphrates, as it says in scripture, but the Hebrew word is the Parath, it could not be the Euphrates. Instead, we would have to go and see that it's the Blue Nile. So I have an entire chart that breaks down that the coordinates have been manipulated. We've been lied to about that. Just another thing to throw in really quickly on that point is we're told inside of scripture, Abraham went down to he went down to Egypt, correct? And a lot of people, they apply a modern understanding of what it means to go down. We think that that means south. However, whenever you study that region at that time, going down to Egypt actually would have been going up, because the flow of the Nile River goes from south to north. And so the sense of direction was reversed for people. That's why whenever you look at the country of Egypt, they have Upper Egypt, which is actually southern Egypt, and Lower Egypt is actually northern Egypt.
Why would a
Now, Kafla, I forget sister's name, but this sister has discovered that it can't be the Euphrates that the Bible is referring to. Here is the map of Cape Town, by the way. Got to show this. There's Cape Town. Here's what's interesting about the sodomy being there. What she's saying about it, when it says Abraham went down to Egypt, it means because Abraham, or I don't think I have broken this down yet. I won't say Abraham for now. I'm gonna say Abraham for now. But he went this way. Went down to Egypt is this way. Why? If you don't know the map, the original map, this is upside down. The true orientation of the earth, this is the north. Then you go down, this is actually south. The map is upside down. This is well known. Just Google it. It's not even up for debate. They flipped the map upside down. Surely the turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. And so the river Nile runs this way, is what she's saying. It doesn't flow this way. It flows this way. Did I get that right? Yeah, it flows this way, which is actually south. It's not flowing north. That makes sense? Okay, I think I just Kafla. Plug in my what did I do last time for this? Oh, forgot what I did. I kept doing for this. I plugged this into, oh yeah, my bombing. That's the moment. I forgot I could hit pause on here. Well, I can't hit pause because one moment really trapped it.
Next.
No.
Look. No.
My keyboard there. There we go. So yes, it's not flowing north, it's flowing south, coming down, gravity doing its thing. So she discovered that the Blue Nile is the Parath. So 1, 2, 3. These are the three rivers that the Bible speaks of in the beginning. Genesis. The Euphrates is over here. Saudi Arabia. They try to push everything this way, pushing you away from Africa. See? And it's saying it's impossible for the text to make sense for the Euphrates, as the text says, but when you look at the Hebrew, it says Parath. That Parath breaks down to essentially the Blue Nile here, combining the three rivers and making the text make perfect sense. That means that the Holy Land, Eden, is not over here. The Holy Land is over here.
Okay.
If you're not aware, there's a huge conflict, and there's been for years, in the Congo. I want to say, yeah. I'm going to say this in closing. If the Garden of Eden is actually here in Central Africa, and I believe it is for several reasons. Quickly, if you don't know, Africa itself, and I believe mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, have seen the message to hear Togbe or Unkulu Kaba Kamin talk about this. Formerly Booker T. Coleman, Dr. Booker T. Coleman. Africa is one huge plateau. Do you know what a plateau is? Plateau means, right? Type it in for you, for those of you who fell asleep in social studies. Let me type it in for you. Plateau, defined as a large flat area of land that is high above sea level. Okay, images. That's a plateau. Imagine that Africa is this. I looked at my wife and her mind just went tilt. Yes, woman. You're looking at this, Africa. Whole continent of Africa. Type this in for you. Africa. Just so you got that visual. That's right. This landmass here, that is a plateau. Are you following me? That means it is raised up above, it's the highest point in the world, all of Africa. Essentially, it's on a mountain. Who's been following me? Boy, you better go back and watch some of the things I've said and talked about. Are you familiar with the story of Seth's children? When they gave you fallen angel, I broke down, no, that was us. And it says that we are on a mountain looking down on everyone else. And we finally came down the mountain. Those are your fallen angels. North is not a direction, it's up and there's down. Think of north as elevation. You're going up the mountain. When you're going south, you're going down the mountain. These are elevations. Nana or Togbe Benyame breaks down the creation of the world when the waters began to recede and land appeared. That, and then you got a flood, right? Africa emerges out of the flood because you are aware we have civilizations in the oceans, all underwater. Everybody knows this stuff, right? There was a flood. Exceeding high mountain, when it says that Noah's ark was on a mountain, are you following me? I wasn't even going here. So I just say that to say this last thing I want to say to you. The conflict in Congo, war, there's just war all up and through the Democratic Congo between the Hutu and the Tutsi. I'm not going into all of this. If the Garden of Eden is here, watch what I'm about to say. We're going to go in Fundishi Jetun teams. You're going to hear him today as well in the message as well. He talks about, and this is a study I've now broken down and went into, symptomatic thinking versus symbolic thinking. Symptomatic thinking versus symbolic thinking. We've been taught to think symbolically. Symbolism. Instead of symptomatically. I digress, we can progress. With that said, we make everything into basically a fairy tale, storybook, comic book. I call it superhero theology. When the truth is more practical. So you read something that says a flaming sword. He said it kicked us out of the garden. And then he set angels with with flaming swords to guard each way, turning every way. You're thinking literally. But if you think symbolically, if you think symptomatically, what would prevent us to going into Eden? What does the sword represent when we talk about Esau? War. The flaming sword that stops us from going back into the garden is war. That's why there's been conflict, that war going on in Africa now. However, because that war is the flaming sword that prevents us from going home. With that, Selon. Selon, by the way. Oh, I stopped my share. Here we go. Selon. Selon is se, which is the word, and ro. Ron is love. Selon, the ma at the end is me. Se, his word represents, or his law represents the Father, the Most High. So it's like saying the Father loved me. Father loves us. Shalom. That's where they came up with shalom ultimately from. But we know M355 is peace. Shalom is a different concept. But when you think about being at peace with our Maker, it makes sense in that way. So I say, as a reminder, that love is the law. I like that. Oh no, I'm going to use that one. Yeah, shalom. A reminder that love is the law. With that, see you all next time. About to transition over to the message. Christ is not the word of God. An exciting 2-part series. Part 1 going down now. Settle. Did I used to say anything at the end of the line? I don't think I did. Anywho, Rusty. Settle. See you on the other side. You know what? I'm going to have to edit this in. Bye-bye, man. I left this out, y'all. I left this out. I knew I was leaving something out. Let me edit this in. But I forgot something. Yeah, I forgot something. We're the prophetic news source. This is what brings it all home. I've got to say this. Daniel chapter 12 and 11. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. The abomination that maketh desolate is, let me switch my camera for you here. The abomination that maketh desolate is sodomy, sexuality, because you can't reproduce. It is eugenics, right? Genocide. But, and I just realized this is a precept to the actual verse I want. Let me do it over here. I love you. Oh. (24 and 15). Let's go to Matthew 24 and 15. Can't believe I forgot to say this. Got to talking about those revelations and forgot. 24 and 15. When, this is from Messiah Yeshua himself, ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel, the prophets, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let him which be in flee into the mountains. This was one of the signs, one of the hugest signs right before the Ogbe Chocho. That's what Ogbe Chocho's on. Ogbe is basically home. Chocho is to leave, and then Zan at night. That's the actual term. During the week, I hope to break down some of that story to you, y'all behind the scenes. I might record it and then be one of the behind the scenes things. Migration stories, so I'll begin to understand our history and culture. But the Ogbe Chocho versus Passover, one connects you to a continent and people that they celebrate the first Saturday of the year. But it's the true Exodus. I'm gonna get into all of that. But that's why I revealed that the holy place isn't Israel. Time reveals prophecy. Prophecy does not reveal time. Okay, Ron Dalton Jr. is leading kind of the fight for Africa is the true Israel. He's got it wrong. Israel is Israel. It is the Holy Land. Okay, it's actually the, if I said it correctly, Jerusalem. All right, like I'm gonna get into some of that in part 2. That's the true way you pronounce that. Quick, the Jebusi. I digress so we can progress. But Eden is in Africa. That's the, when it says the holy place, it wasn't talking about the Pope on the throne in the Vatican. It wasn't talking about the temple in Israel. It's talking about the holy place, Garden of Eden, the only undefiled place left. I'm looking at the wrong camera because I'm talking, I gotta talk to somebody. Let me talk to y'all, Kapla. The only undefiled place in this realm would be the Garden of Eden because he kicked us out. So it may be overrun from what we can see physically. But whatever that special door is, area is the holy place. Or I'm thinking too symbolically, and it's simple. That's the Holy Land. And when he says the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence until this day, he's talking about Africa. So when you see the abomination that maketh desolate, homosexuality, LGBTQ, in Africa, in the holy place, that's when you know it's time to make a move. That's what I left out. That's the bombshell. You know, I only got a bombshell. You thought the bombshell was Holy Land. I get it. Flat 2, I get it. Bombshell is always the word. So this is what you are seeing. This is a marker. This is a prophetic marker in time. Bye-bye, man. That's what I wanted to say. So I'll just edit this in, but you can see how important that was. You know? Zero. A reminder that the law is love. Bye-bye, man. See you next time.